Hi, my name's Nick and welcome to Nick's Motorcycle Training. Just going to give you a little bit of information on the training side of things because there's a minefield of information on it and it is a tad confusing. So, first of all, we employ 5 instructors. There's myself, Steve, Dixie, Michael and Tim. We also employ a mechanic, that's the lovely Roy, and the even lovelier Dawn, who's my wife. She does all of the bookings and so on and so forth. There's Dan and Josh, my sons, who help us with the mechanicking, the cleaning and the moving of the bikes. And there's young Alex Parry, who has done the website for me. So that's our whole team. We do all training from CBTs, that's compulsory basic training, and that's basically the start, to back to biking. Back to biking are people that took their test 20 years ago, or possibly 40 years ago now, and haven't done any training since and would like to get onto big bikes. I do apologise, I'm going to cough throughout this. So back to compulsory basic training. That's 1 day of training. You can do it on your motorcycle, that's £120, or you can do it on my motorcycle, which is £140. Okay, that involves half a day training in the car park and a half day on the road. At the end of that, you get a DL196, which validates the provisional part of your licence for a 2-year period. Okay, that's CBT. Just moving on to the bikes. Now, the 2 bikes you'll see in front of me, or by the side of me, are nothing to do with the school. Well, they're my bikes. My dream bike, this one I took around the world, but I'll talk to you about that later. And this is the one that I was hoping to take around the world, but Vladimir appears to have other ideas. We take auto 50cc's. We don't have geared 50cc's, but we have auto 50cc's. Those are generally for the 16-year-olds or anyone who wants to do an automatic CBT. We also have YBR 125s. Those are geared 125s, Yamahas that we use for CBT and for A1 test if someone's interested. And we also have several Z650s or ER650 Kawasaki's. Okay, all of those can be used. So, what's the training? In a nutshell, A1. A1 is your light motorcycle test, and it's taken on a 125. You can either do it on your own bike or our bike. We charge £130 for the training day, plus another £20 for the bike, so that's £150 a day. Very difficult to give you an overall price for the A1 test, because you might have been riding for several years. You could almost go to test on your own, or you could just come to us for a day. So just ring us on 07788 714 216 or send us a message on the website. The second test, by the way, the A1 is 17 plus. Now generally, most people who take their test on the A1 are just 17, between 17 and 19. That is restricted through government law. At 19, you're able to do what we call the A2 test. The A2 test is a standard test. You're able to take the test on a bike more than 245cc, and it's between 20 kilowatts and 35 kilowatts. That works out up to about 46 brake horsepower. So once you've taken that test, and that's between 19 and 24, you can ride any bike, providing the full power of it is no more than 92 brake horsepower, restricted in half. So say, for example, a 92 brake horsepower bike would have to be restricted to 46 brake horsepower. You could ride that. So if your dream bike was 93 brake horsepower, you wouldn't be able to ride it. Okay. The A2 test, we have 2 prices. One is for the complete beginner, that's the person who's never ridden before, and the process they'd have to go through would be a CBT, which would be 140, a road ride on that bike, that would be a whole day of riding on the 125, hopefully getting them up to standard, and then probably about another 4 or 5 days on the big bike. So these big bikes would be the same as the A standard bikes, but they would have a restrictor put in them. And that would come up to about 770. So you're looking at 140 for the CBT, 140 for the road ride, and 770 for the remainder. Okay. If you have a lot of experience, let's say you've done a lot of off-roading and quite a lot on the road too, on the 125s, then we can bring that in at 685, and that could also include your CBT, your compulsory basic training day. Okay. If you're really, really good, there is a possibility we can do a bespoke course and do it for even less. Okay, moving on to your A standard test, that is 595cc or more, and that has to be more than 53 brake horsepower. Okay, and that's done on like I said, full powered 650. Anyone over 24 can do that. You still have to do your CBT. For those with lots of experience who may have been riding either A2 or has done quite a lot of riding on a bike off-road and on-road, we can do that for 685. That's the same as the A2. And if not, we can do that for 770. But you would have to include in that the CBT at 140. That'd be someone who's no experience at all, and plus a road ride on a 125 at 140. Okay, so it gives you a basic idea. We do a lot of laughing with you, not at you. Okay, we are very relaxed. And we're very flexible too. So if there's any needs in terms of anxiety problems or whatever problems, we can cater for those. Okay. Is there anything else I need to tell you? The Mod 1 test that you have to take is about an 8-minute test. If you want to see the test centre in this area, you can YouTube Pool Mod 1 test and you'll be able to see it, or you can see the process on one of my videos on the website. The Module 2 test is a 40-minute test, or 35 to 40-minute test, and that's pretty much like your car test except on a bike. Okay, so just to look at everything, A1 light bike test 17 onwards, A2 19 to 24, that's restricted between 20 and 35 kilowatts, and A would be 595cc over 53 brake horsepower. Sorry, I'm jumping from brake horsepower to kilowatts, but I don't really understand any of it. And there we have it. So I think all there is for me to do is to say, please leave a message. Please, we are nice, so do give us a call, and we'll hopefully help you get your full bike license. Many thanks.